Hey YouTube, so I haven't put a video up pretty much in a week that I remember, but anyway, I haven't done anything with my sawmill this week. I'm fairly cleaned up. It's just that I need to take the pile that's inside here away and put this one in, but I didn't get to plane the wood that I have in the garage yet. So I'll be doing that. But what I do want to show you today is what you can do with this wood and how beautiful the trees that were cut down, cut into lumber, dried, planed can be like when you take good care of it. So I'm going to show you that. Now I know that a lot of you know about the house here that I've been building, and I started building it for a purpose, and that purpose fell apart for some stupid reason. But besides that, just so you know, I have to put handrails around this thing, and I haven't done it yet. But I just want to show you what I've done with a lot of the red oak that I had to cut. So let me open the door and we'll go in there and do that. Okay guys, so when you come in this one door, and the front of the house is actually over there, but when you come in this one door, this room here was supposed to be an office, but it can be that, or it can be a bedroom, downstairs bedroom. Now I have all this lumber in here because I had nowhere else to put it, and I'm hoping to be able to get everything I need out of here to build the handrail for the deck. That's the deck outside. So I have to start getting this out of here. It's been in here for 2 years, drying. Now, it's not like it's been in the sun, and there's not been a lot of movement, so it may not have dried completely yet. So I might have to do a little more to this to get it to dry better. But if it doesn't, I actually have more wood that I can use for the handrail. So then, when you come through here, there's a bathroom there. And this is basically the downstairs. It's a small living room because upstairs is a sitting room, you'll see. And then over in here is where let me just turn a light on here. This is the kitchen area. And I haven't done anything in here except the molding, stained molding. And actually I've been polyurethaning it. And this has to be done and will be done soon. So there's a laundry room here, and there's a closet down here for and there's another door there, and there's a closet there for the food and stuff, like a pantry. So anyway, the upstairs here, let me just finish showing you. There's also another bedroom in here. And then there's a bathroom off the bedroom. So, closet. But what I'm excited about here is that all this molding you're seeing came from the sawmill. I bought the sawmill, and I'll tell you this again. I said this in a previous video, but I know I have about 5,000 more subscribers since I had originally made the video. So what I'll tell you is that I had done the math, and I figured out that it would cost me a lot more to buy the oak molding at Lowe's than it would be to just make the molding. So this is like a hallway here, and then this will be a balcony around there. I already made a nice like mantelpiece for that, and you can see there's a secondary one there. But what I was getting at is that all of this wood, like you can see now here, the wood around the window, all of this is made from red oak that actually came from the yard outside here. I cut 3 oak trees down when I first bought the sawmill, and this is the wood from it. So this is what we were doing this week, nailing this stuff up here and trimming out the things that need to be trimmed. This wall gets a board on it that's going to be like a shelf with a molding underneath it and stuff. We didn't get that far yet. Anyway, we got this done. Now normally when I talk on the videos, I say I. And the reason I say I is because I was the only one doing it. And here's what happened here. It got to the point where I just cannot do all this work anymore. Now I did this bedroom here, the molding in here, and the closet and stuff. I have to paint the door yet, put the lock in, and I want to paint the windowsills. I didn't polyurethane the windowsills when they were put up, but I will. So then that would be done. Now the whole house is after this same theme here of what you're seeing with the molding. So this is a second upstairs bedroom. And I like this, but what I think that you guys who were with the woodwork would like to know is this is the base molding that goes on the floor, okay? This I cut on the planer that I got from Grizzly. I bought cutting heads for it. So this is the base molding, and this is the chair rail. Now the problem with the chair rail is that I wanted it a little wider. Like I wanted about 3-inch chair rail, but they didn't have a cutter for that. So I ended up getting something that cuts a pattern similar to this is the pattern. It's just a piece of scrap. But I bought a pattern that looks like the chair rail. It was just smaller. This is actually picture frame molding, but it ended up looking nice on here. Now I also, so you know, I was not after clear oak. I wanted the oak to come up and be nailed up the exact way that it come from the tree. Now don't get me wrong, I don't have holes in the wood. I'm just saying I wanted all the imperfections to show up because to me they're interesting, and I like seeing them. And I've built a lot of houses that had to have perfect molding around them, and I never really, even though they were very expensive, I never really enjoyed doing the work. But here's the thing that I wanted to say about this. What happened here was I had done that first bedroom, and I did that actually last year, and during the fall last year I had gotten sick, and it lasted from fall all the way until I'll just shut this fan off. It lasted from fall, this is another bedroom, all the way until this past spring. And I'm just now starting to feel better, but not as good as I could, and but I'm working at it. But here's the thing, I came to the conclusion that I am just too old to try and do all this work. So a friend of ours who does carpentry work, and you know, they come visit every now and then, which is nice. I decided to ask him if he could do it, and naturally I'll pay him whatever he's asking, and he decided that he would do it. And I have to tell you that he's done a good job, and he's a lot quicker than I am at my age. Now, when I was younger, I could trim this whole house out in less than a week, probably, when I was in my 20s and 30s. But now it's taken me 2 days to do one room, which is just a little crazy. So anyway, he managed to get the 3 bedrooms and this area here trimmed out in just, I think, 3 days. That includes this area here. And this bathroom we didn't work on, but we will. This is coming up next. So it needs the closet there. And this bathroom looks just like the one downstairs. I just copied them. So anyway, I need to do a little bit of work in here to get it to what it should be. The house sat last year with no heat in it or anything, and there's a little bit of drywall that got a little goofy on me that I need to repair. But it's no big deal, and I can take care of that. So I'm going to work on that then sometime soon. Yeah, so anyway, this is what's been going on this past week. And what I've been doing is, you know, when I do the work myself without any help, I would have to, you know, stain the molding, get the molding ready for the room, or polyurethane it, and then go ahead and put up what molding I had for the room. You know, I would figure out what I needed for a room and then go ahead and do that. And I'm just trying to keep the dust out of all the rooms if I can. And it just got to be to the point where it was so much work that I wasn't getting very far with it every time I worked on it. So what I was doing this past week was the guy came to do the work, and I'm very happy with the way he did this, very happy. And it looks exactly like what I wanted it to look like. So anyway, when he came to do the work, I realized that I had to try to stay in front of him with just things like having the molding that he needed ready. You know, the window sills weren't all made. I had to make them. So I was trying to hurry up and do the stuff that I needed to do ahead of him. And I managed to get pretty far. So it was hard for me to keep up with him because he's about 10 or 15 years younger than I am, which is, you know, it's a good benefit for him. This is going to be a sitting room here if I didn't say it. I plan on having a television or whatever up here. I don't even know. I haven't watched television in 20 years, but whatever. And so I'm thinking about what to do with it. I'm not positive yet. The good thing about this is that the oak, and I'll tell you the numbers now, the oak molding that you see there, just that, you know, the door molding and the walls and the base trim, for this house, and this was 4 years ago, was $16,000. That's how much it would cost to get red oak at Lowe's. And I wanted red oak, but the red oak they had didn't look like this. It didn't have all the marks in it that I have here. It didn't have all the growth things. Like, you know, for instance, like if you look here, you'll see that this one is dark, has a line through it. That one's light. And I wanted that. I wanted to see all of that. There's knots, but they're not holes in the knots. You know what I mean? It's just, it's actually nice. It's very nice. So anyway, it was $16,000. So the sawmill, you figure, with the kiln cost me 10. And then the planer cost me another 2 with the cutters. So 10, 11, 12.5 or something like that I spent to get the $16,000 worth of red oak. And right now, the red oak is even more than what it was back then. One piece of molding that you see right here, from here down to here, is $14.50. One piece. The base molding they don't even have base molding that's this wide. This is a 4.5-inch base molding. They don't even have base molding like that down there. So there's no way I could have got the kind of molding I wanted. Same thing, like they didn't have what's known as colonial molding. If you look at the marks on here, the grooves and the cuts, this is colonial molding, okay, and that's what I wanted. When I went to Lowe's, they didn't have enough of that to do a big bedroom, let alone do a whole house. And that base molding was twice the cost of the trim around the doors. So the base molding was somewhere around $28 per piece, per 8-foot piece of the base molding. So it just got to be, you know, it's ridiculous. But what I'm saying to you is, I have a sawmill, a planer, and a kiln, and you can look at it 20 different ways. I paid for it outright, but you could also say the molding paid for it, plus whatever. I mean, I have all the lumber down there to build a garage now, plus a whole greenhouse, where my greenhouse is filled with lumber that I could use for all kinds of stuff. And the thing is people see this lumber with a knot or two in it, and they think, oh, you know, I'm going to go down to Lowe's and buy this molding or that molding. You don't realize just what you're doing. You're throwing your money away. I mean, compared to having a sawmill. Now, don't get me wrong. I bought, you know, millions of dollars worth of stuff at Lowe's over the years. I'm just saying, when you have a sawmill and you can do this stuff and you can take the time to do it, you really make out fantastic. It's a wonderful, wonderful savings. Just on the molding alone for this house, you're looking at a $4,000 savings. You know, and that's a 5-year-old price. Today it's probably closer to $6,000, $5,000 or $6,000 savings. So anyway, we're going to be making the handrail and stuff out of red oak. Haven't exactly come up with the exact way I want to do it, but I'm working on it. So yeah, I think the upstairs here is looking a lot better now that the trim is up. And all there is in the bedroom to do, like I say, is to install baseboard heater, the door lock, and carpeting, and it's done. So that's not going to take much at all to do. And putting door locks in, if I can't put door locks in, I may as well call it quits. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I thought you'd want to see that. This is what I've been working on all week with the guy that I hired to help me. And actually, it ended up where I'm helping him. He's not helping me. He already knows what to do. I'm just needing help, and he's been a good help. So I thought that's, you know, you'd want to see that. But I'm just trying to tell you guys that have sawmills. You know, whenever I make a video, of cutting a log, and I get a lot of views. I make a video about the molding that I'm talking to you about right now, and I hardly get any views. And I'm telling you guys that you're viewing the wrong thing. You know, viewing the molding is one thing. Or viewing the cutting, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you're wrong for looking at that. What I'm saying is, this is where it ends up. When you can take the molding from the trees that you cut and put them in the house, and it's something beautiful. It's not just, you know, mediocre, it's beautiful. Now, it depends on your taste, naturally, but, you know, I could have made any kind of molding for in here. The point is I did what I did, and it's well worth the effort that it took me to do it. So all I'm saying is, if you can't end up using the molding and you have it stacked somewhere where it's just not drying right, or you think you stacked it on a pile and it looked good the day you put it there and now it doesn't, that's your problem. You need to correct that in order to be able to get these things to, you know, work out the way they should. All right, so I thought maybe, like I say, that you'd like seeing this. Once we get the handrail and stuff up here and the railing around the circle or spiral steps, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, because what they look like now, they're not going to even near be like that when I'm finished with them. Alright guys, well, have a good one. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Like I say, you know, having the sawmill is fantastic. Being able to put the molding in here has paid for the sawmill, paid for the planers, paid for the kiln, and I'm no less, you know, for the wear. I'm doing fine with this as far as money goes. I still owe nothing on the house. There's no mortgages of any kind or anything else. And the house, basically, depending upon how I use it, there's 5 bedrooms in the house. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye. Okay, so one of the other things, we're getting a little bit of rain today. Not very much. Things look wet, but that's about it. But it's like a very fine rain, so if it gets warm today, it's going to be muggy. Right now it's somewhere around 68 or so. So anyway, this past week wasn't too bad. It was hot and muggy, but in the house it wasn't like that. It was pretty good up there when we were working. So I need to do a couple of little things up there yet today, and I'll get at them a little bit later on in the day. Yesterday when I was down at Lowe's, 2x4s, 8 foot long, $4.83 a piece. There's 15 on a stack there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 15. I'll just go 12 times 12 is 144. So another 50. So like 200 2x4s. And all I did was cut it from some pine trees. And I gotta tell you that the more they raise their prices at the store, the better off this stuff looks. Have a good one.